from Washington, D.C., where we will elaborate on atopic dermatitis, recent advance on the benefit. Please go ahead, John.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to be here. I hope you are all able to hear me okay and able to see my slides. I'm going to be discussing atopic dermatitis. There has been a tremendous amount of recent advances in management. I can't even begin to cover all of them in the short period of time that we have, but I really try to address some of the most recent new therapeutic approvals around the world. So let's get started. These are my disclosures. I have been privileged to avoidance, liberal among use, bathing guidance, and when that's not enough, then layer on additionally prescription topical therapies, and if those are not enough, we'll go to more potent prescription topical therapies. We have non-steroidal options that we'll use, and then eventually stepping up from there to phototherapy, oral systemic agents, or biologics. And whenever we think about the management of atopic dermatitis, we have to divide the management into the acute treatment and the maintenance treatment. Recognizing that some patients will have rapid onset flares and will need a quick fix. And usually that quick fix is going to be topical steroids because they're generally cheap and easily accessible, and they work fast. But we know that with long-term use, there are challenges of using corticosteroids. There's development of multiple oral JAK inhibitors. And for the oral JAK inhibitors, they're rarely, but they can occur, these kinds of serious adverse events. And so because of that, there's a lot of fear and concern around their use in the oral spectrum. And so the FDA has assigned theoretical black box warnings to these topical agents. Well, this complicates things because overall the safety of the trials look good, but we have to have this conversation with patients, and some patients are definitely risk averse and concerned about using these therapies in the real world. Now, there are other JAK inhibitors that are under investigation, and delvocitinib is another one. So ruxolitinib is a more preferential JAK1, JAK2 inhibitor. There are 4 different ways to explain to patients overall what to expect. We see, the more rigorous, the harder, the deeper the endpoint, the longer it takes to get to that peak efficacy. Right? The plateau for the EASI 90 takes longer to achieve than what we see, for example, with the EASI 50. And that is something that we should understand, that these drugs can take some more time to work. They're not necessarily instantaneous in their effects. When we look at tralokinumab, which is the newest drug to be approved in some regions. In Europe, it was approved in 2021. In the US also right at the very last week of 2021, and now is available for our use in the United States. We see that the tralokinumab, the 300 milligram every other week dose, also was statistically significant compared to the placebo. In the 16 weeks, that initial 16-week period, we see what appears to be a little less efficacy with tralokinumab.